Alright, so back here on the 1978 Toyota pickup. Yeah, very different now. Separated the cab from the frame, and yeah, just got everything completely tore down. So just rolled the frame over here. Definitely pleasantly surprised with how good the frame looks, and also really pleased that it's already boxed. I was definitely expecting this to be a C-channel frame that I'd have to box, but it's already boxed in. So for the engine that I want to put in it, I think this should be plenty strong. The cab mounts, rotted out a little bit, but for the most part, in pretty good condition. Back here, yeah, definitely better on the back than the front. And then the core support ones are pretty good. So overall, yeah, I mean, the frame's in really good condition. So yeah, I got that pulled off, and so just have it on a table here, and then just strap down the back of it so it doesn't tilt. Surprisingly, the front clip does not unbolt from it, so the front clip is all spot welded on like everything else. And so digging into this mess now, so you can see, yeah, this is just completely gone. It is rotted all the way through. So this is the front cab mount that goes to the front of the frame, and yeah, I mean, that is completely wasted. So working on these, and then you can kind of see why it's such a mess. And so there's just spot welds kind of occasionally on these different pieces. And so what ends up happening is moisture gets back behind here and then rots it from the inside out. And then you can see why this is a problem back here is, you have like 4 different panels that are all coming together. So you have this little brace, you have the kind of big chunky brace for where the cab mounts, and you just have all these different pieces coming together, and then water is just going to get stuck in all those little crevices. So modern cars, in all of these seams, will put panel bond in order to kind of keep that out, and then seam seal. And so definitely they just didn't know about how bad that was going to be back in the day. So working on the passenger side here, so already cut out the bad bit. So that was right here, and already cut that out. And so there's a couple of different ways that I could have gone after this. So there's a piece here that sort of ramps up, and then it flattens out and then curves around, and then this is where it would tie in. And then this sort of like curves and bows and then comes over, and then this one curves. So certainly from the factory, when they can stamp those out, they can put it all in one piece. But trying to get all these compound curves and angles and everything in one piece, for me, that's just, forget it, that ain't happening. So I'm going to make it in 3 pieces. So I already did the top piece, and then I'm not welding this tab here because you can see, this metal is bad. And so, what's back behind here is going to end up having to get cut out. So I'm not welding right here. Fortunately, all of this along the top edge here is good. So I kept the tab here, and I just made, the flat piece to stick on the top. And so that's in. And so now I got the front piece going on. And so I already, cut it out. And so that's going to go right here. And so, again, like, this is all going to have to get cut out. So what my plan is that I'll get the front half all in place where it needs to be, and I'll get this bottom one in place all where it needs to be, and then I'll be able to go to the back side and cut all that out, and then I'll not lose my spots. And so, if I tried to cut out everything, like this whole front piece that was rotted, and also all the back piece, and that cab mount, then I'd probably be in a world of hurt trying to make sure that I relocate the cab mount in the exact spot. And with all that lamination and like 4 different pieces all coming into one piece, like there's just no way. So I'm cutting it out in pieces. I'll make sure that this is nice and strong up front. I'll cut out pieces incrementally in the back. And then this is sort of the key here, is I need to make sure that when I do get this all together, that the new cab mount is in the right spot. So all this bad metal that's back here, like all up in here is all bad metal. All this is back, all this is all bad. I need to make sure that when I get the good metal in there and I fabricate a new cab mount, that I get that in the right location. So I'll probably end up taking a bunch of measurements after I get all those other pieces made and make sure that I get this in the right location, because that would suck big time. So I'm just going to get this piece in. So I'll get it tacked on either side, and because there is a curve that's happening here, I'll get it tacked in a couple of places, and then as I go I'll be bending it in order to get it to fit all along here. And again, I can't weld into any of this because all this metal in here is no good. So here we go. Alright, so that's it there. So got all that tacked in. And man, this is what I love about working with metal, is there's a bit of gap right there, and just hit it with the hammer, bring those edges close together. You try doing that shit with wood and good luck. So much easier. So when it comes over on this side, you know, I'm gonna have to, again, you know, just like I did over here, just sort of, you know, either get some clamps or something and pull that in. Now one thing is, this corner is where the truck got hit in the past, so this is all bent up in here. So I already started yanking on it. I noticed when I pulled that fender brace right here that it was all bent up. So, you know, compared to the other side, it's probably impossible to see on camera, but yeah, this side's bent. So the fact that I don't have, you know, a good, like the gap right here is terrible. It's because this support is bent, and so again, this metal's all bad. It's going to have to get cut out anyway, so I'm not too worried about this gap. The next thing will be to fabricate the piece that's on the bottom, get all this welded up, and we should be good to go. So yeah, I'll get to welding the rest of it, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.